So I want you guys to remember that your breath is in control. Obviously, well, I'm going to focus on these 3 words here, 3 syllables here. I want everyone to appreciate that. There's how many syllables here? Gee, mic's off. 3 syllables. Everyone say 3. How many syllables?
3.
3 syllables, yeah? So we've got the Hamza. I want everyone to bring curiosity here. Pretend you've never read these before. So you've got a Hamza, which is an air sound. You've got an ayn, ayn, which is a sound which comes from the throat. And you've got a dhal, which is a sound which comes from your tongue touching the top of your tongue. So I'm just going to quickly turn my mic on again, which means I'm going to have to think. So I'm just going to bring everyone again, just noticing your own breath. Don't worry too much. If at this point you want to turn your video off, I'd say you're allowed to. If you want to kind of really concentrate and screw up your face in utmost concentration, you can turn your mics off as well, and just have your own little practice. This is why the course is on YouTube. So whenever you need it, you can just go there and do your own little practice in your own privacy. It is your connection with Allah, not with the community. But your connection with Allah will affect the whole energy within this whole coming together, if that makes any sense. Anyway, so remember to breathe. And just with the so remember noting your breath in, and very important, most people are lazy on this. Notice your breath going out without saying anything. So, and notice the breath going out, and bring that control on that breath. Everyone there? Now I'm just going to bring now attention back to the syllables. So coming back to our PowerPoint, the first syllable is a. I want everyone to bring 100% attention to this first syllable. A. So remembering to breathe. A. Is everyone getting this? Because it's a practice. If you want to turn your mics off and practice in privacy, you're more than welcome to. But just again, bringing attention to this like you don't really know what it is. And softness, and now I'm going to tell you to do something which you might not understand, which is to use your breath. So remember to breathe. And good, just be curious. Don't try and prove how good you are to yourself. You might not be very good at this. The next one is ayn, and this comes from the throat. So it is important to have your throat relaxed here. Ayn. And just notice, I want curiosity. Curiosity is a very, very important ingredient. Rather than trying to prove to Allah and to prove to yourself how good you are, bring curiosity. Knowing is the enemy of learning. If you think you're an expert on ayn, you're going to find this difficult. And again, notice unconscious energy. Every single one of you probably, apart from the imams here, will definitely have unconscious energy, and maybe Cherno to some extent. Everyone, apart from some of the people who are very good with reading the Quran, you will definitely have unconscious energy on ayn. Because it comes from the throat, and in Urdu and Bangla and English, and Malaysian and Nigerian and all the different languages that, alhamdulillah, our very diverse community speaks, you don't have the need to say ayn. So this is a new letter for nearly everyone. Despite this dua, you might have been saying it since you were born, maybe, as you learning the dua. But you actually realize how to say an ayn, removing the unconscious energy, and as soon as you can notice unconscious energy and actually be grateful for it. I explain this as a type of taqwa. That when you're in salah and you actually notice that you're distracted and just bring your attention back, that will be a much more effective way than getting angry at yourself for being distracted. So again, if you have unconsciousness around ayn, be really grateful that you can notice it, because that means that you can just let go of it. So again, remembering to breathe again, bringing that attention back to your breath. So now I want you to follow the breath in and out again. And don't worry about it. Now this is something you've never done before in your life. So don't be worried that you're not an expert on it. You're good at breathing, I accept that, but you're not an expert. So notice your breath in, notice your breath out, and this ayn is going to come from the throat. Remember to breathe. Ayn. So there's going to be a letter from the throat. So it comes, and notice where it comes from. Don't be trying to force the letter. And again, realizing that the breath is very important here. So ayn. Good. That's just getting used to the letter. Now the origin. So take your time. Remember, there's no hurry. Problem is, as kids, this is a really big problem, especially kids. All of the kids who I teach, you all know this, and even the adults, we race way too much. We treat the Quran as a race. It's not a race. So now we're in that position. This is all activation, by the way. And this is awareness of the fact that we have this energy here where when we get a mistake, when we think we might say something wrong, we run away from it. So being able to notice that running. Now bringing attention to the ayn. Okay, and I think most of you will struggle with ayn. Yeah, because in Urdu and Bangla and English, we don't have the ayn. You never need to say it. So it's really important to be breathing properly and bring curiosity to how you say ayn, ayn. Is everyone following? Yeah? Is everyone having some practice here? Gee, speak, man. Is everyone here?
Yes.
So I'm practicing that now. Bring curiosity. We're very scared of mistakes. I want you to notice unconscious energy here. Nearly all of you, apart from the imams and apart from maybe Cherno, you will have some unconscious energy around ayn. Because you've never really practiced this before. You just kind of presumed you know it. So just notice which part of the tongue it comes from. Remembering, knowing is the enemy of learning. So pretending you don't know how to say ayn, and really trying to figure out, maybe saying it wrong, comes from the throat, just noticing that. And remembering to breathe and bringing your breath in. Good. And noticing the ayn. So now coming back to the three syllables, we've got then o, and o. So the last letter, what's the last letter, G? Everyone, tell me what the last letter is, please. What's the third syllable we've got on the screen?
Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
So again, taking more time with that. Is everyone there? So noticing that it's a dal. So the tongue comes forward, the tongue touches the bottom of the teeth. That. See, everyone practicing, bringing your tongue forward, remembering to breathe. That. So, so the first one is a, then we have a, then we have the. Everyone just practice that, give that the time it deserves. If this is the first time in your life you're doing this, then remember to give it the time it deserves. This is the word of Allah we're reading here. So, a, and then oh, again remembering a to oh. This is going to come from the throat. Oh, and really just giving it the time it deserves. Remembering to breathe. Oh, oh. And I'm just going to practice the first two. A, oh. You should be distinct, clear, and confident in your difference between a and a ayn. So one's from the throat, one's from the middle of the mouth. How many of you have found that useful? Share something, man, people, please.
Your course on YouTube is useful, so it's similar.
Okay. So again, it's really important just to notice. So know, if you think you know, you'll very often be surprised by how much more you can learn. So that was, so I just want to practice keeping the awareness, remembering to breathe. And then adding the practice the dal isolated. Soft tongue, breathing. Take your time. You've got plenty of time. There's no race here. Remembering to breathe, and don't be shy of your dad if he's sitting next to you. Don't be shy of the rest of the community. If you want to turn your mic off and show off to the world, you can. This is your experience with your creator. So the activations you're having, the awareness you're having, and what you're noticing is really important for you. Remembering to breathe. We'll go on to billahi. But just giving more time is really important, man. Don't be scared of spending too much time on this. You can't even spend too much time on your breath. Billahi. Good. So, أعوذ بالله. Remembering to breathe. من الشيطان. Shaitan. Good. Every one of you should have noticed unconscious energy right now. It's really important to notice your unconscious energy, and that should be a means of, it's like your taqwa. When you're praying salah and you notice that you've been distracted, that is your taqwa. Shaitan will make you try and get angry and frustrated and give up. Your taqwa will allow you to just notice that you've been distracted and come back to your prayer, come back to Allah. So notice, Minash Shaitan is a bit difficult. Maybe you've not practiced this with enough depth. So, smiling. Minash. So the sheen, soft sound, giving it the time it deserves. Shay. Remembering to breathe as well, and time for breath now. I want everyone to stop now and just follow one breath in and one breath out. Don't worry about doing anything else. Don't worry about breathing properly. Just follow, notice, curiosity here. You're not an expert on breathing yet. So just have curiosity. How are you breathing right now? Smile. Mina Shay. Good. Remembering to breathe. Mina Shay. Ta. Ta. Shaytan. Good. Remembering to breathe. Mina Shaytan. Good. Tani Rajim. Good. Everyone should have noticed unconscious energy on the Ra, especially maybe on the Jim as well. But the Ra is probably the most difficult letter of the Arabic alphabet. So you should have noticed how difficult that was for you. And when you get in touch with your mistakes, you can just self-rectify. Don't get angry with yourself. Be happy. Alhamdulillah. Knowing is the enemy of learning. As soon as you think you don't know and you realize you are making a mistake, that is the point where you improve. So the Ra, we're going to practice Ra. We're going to get comfortable with that. At the moment, there's lots of unconscious energy there. Get aware of that as well. Ra. Ra. Good. Slow it down more. You've got more time than you think. If any of you need to leave, you can. I'm around till 4. I'll do a Q&A after this. I will just finish this verse. Then I'll do a bit of there's a couple more slides, then I'll let you go. Sorry if I'm delaying people, but I think we might as well carry on. Yeah, is everyone happy carrying on? Good. So bringing attention to the Ra. Curiosity here, please. Ra. Ra. Noticing what happens to the tongue. The tongue rolls. It's a little bit of a difficult letter. Don't worry, it is hard. It's the hardest letter of the Arabic alphabet. I'll give you that assurance. For non-Arabic speakers it is. So take your time here. Don't be scared. No need to run away from it. No need to anything. Ra. Just allowing your tongue to roll. Ra. Good. Now bringing the noon in. And again, now because you're going to join the Ra on, you might notice some conscious energy around the Ra again. Nira. Even I noticed it with myself. So you actually find it a bit difficult because you haven't practiced that yet. So every time you practice, you're getting more and more clarity. Nira. Good. Now the Ta, you probably also find this a bit difficult because it's kind of like, it's like Ta, but a bit weird and different. So you might be a bit scared of that. So notice that yourself and fix it yourself. I'm not going to guide you. I want to make you be able to teach yourself. You should be your best teacher. This is your connection with Allah which you're working with. you should be able to notice how you improve it. So I'm going to give you just a bit of time. I'm going to go quiet for a bit and freestyle away. If you've got any urgent questions, you can ask. I just want you to have a bit of time. Remember to have your breathing in control and just practice the letter Twa, nothing else. Twa, Twa, taking your time, noticing the tongue, curiosity. Twa. And noticing how a lot of you might say, when you have unconscious energy, your mouth and your breath tends to tense up. Yeah? So notice the relaxation when you actually bring curiosity. And again, notice the removal of this unconscious energy. Give it a name, give it resistance, whatever you want to call it. So notice your jaw kind of relax, and remember to breathe again. And if you just want to slow everything down, just follow one breath, follow 2 breaths. And there is no race, remember. This is not a race. And a lot of the course on YouTube is about getting out of the idea that reading the Quran is a race. Because when you have that in your mind, when as a kid you were taught to race, and you were taught to be as quick as possible, and you're taught it's good to be, racing. That is a belief which we have in our mind, that it's good to race through the Quran. But it really isn't. So anyway. So Shaitan. Just remember to breathe. Nira. Bringing that awareness to the Ra. Nira. Jim. Nirajim. Minashay. Minashaytan. Keeping that thought would have been unconscious again for most people. Minashaytan. Nirajim. Rajim. من الشيطان الرجيم. And again, no rush. There is no rush. It's not about like perfection here. Don't worry about having to practice this another 100 times before you become really good at it. You probably will. This is all part of the practice, and hopefully lots of activation happening. One of the biggest activations which you have today should be noticing unconscious energy. And so we're going to read the beginning half of the dua. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I'm going to breathe. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Now I want you to appreciate another activation, which is what I call flow, or reading the Quran as if the Quran comes through you, rather than you having to force it. So what I want you all to do now is just appreciate how you don't need to put any force into this. Remembering to breathe. Follow 2 breaths first. And remember, this is not so mechanical. Like when we're taught as kids, we are taught very mechanically. We're taught, there's Allah, you must do this, you must pray like this, you must stand like this, do all of like this. But very often, when it comes to the spiritual world, realizing the rules don't work the same as a physical world. The rules aren't always so fixed. You learn quickest through these activations. So be happy to learn, be curious, and just bring your attention back to your breath. Don't worry about anything else. Don't be like, oh my God, this is so much to learn. Just bring your attention back to your breath. Follow it 2 times, and don't worry about anything else. So breathe in through your nose, and feeling the breath come in through your nose, into your lungs, and out through your mouth if you can. Don't worry too much about keeping in touch with the way I'm telling you. Just it's your breath. You should be in touch with. And just take another breath. Remember, you're really good at this now. You've practiced this more deeply than you've ever practiced before in your life. So you're going to read this the best you've ever read it, which is quite exciting. And just remember to breathe. Don't worry too much about it. Don't worry about running out of breath. Don't worry about getting it right. You might get it wrong. It's okay. Even if your dad's next to you, even if your son's next to you, it's okay to get it wrong. The Quran is something we can just read to each other while we're, going around the house. Don't worry. Curiosity. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. And notice your breath coming out as well, please. Follow your breath in. Follow your breath out. Follow it in again. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Gee, is everyone still here, man? Has some of you fallen asleep?
I'm still alive.
Here. Yes, I'm.
Okay, man. Good, man. Good. So that was the dua. How is everyone, man?